Heading over to the Ansty book farm today, folks. Made a few videos about this place before. It's a place I've been a few times, but this is the first time I've actually gone there with the aim of selling a book. But it's a lovely place. It's got 100,000 books, second-hand books in there, and a nice little coffee shop. Quite nice and local to where I am. And I'm hoping they will purchase my book. It's not that in bad nick. It's virtually new. I mean, well, I've read it, but no previous owners. Bought it new from Waterstones, and it's a graphic novel. They have a sizable graphic novel section there, and the previous few times when I was on the lookout for this graphic novel, they didn't have it, so I expect it probably will get snapped up by any comic enthusiasts that happen to be perusing. As I went twice or three times and checked each time if this book was there, and it is arguably the best graphic novel ever written by Alan Moore. From Hell, the Jack the Ripper story. And it's what's interesting about it is deciding for yourself how much of it is fiction and how much could be rooted in some truth. It takes the angle of a doctor close to Queen Victoria trying to cover up a royal scam involving the Queen's grandson. If you've seen the film From Hell with Johnny Depp, they do a pretty good job of it, although the graphic novel, as always with books, goes into much more detail. For example, I don't think Druid is even mentioned in the Hollywood movie. They just simply don't have time for all that, and they have to kind of build a Hollywood-esque story around it. But it's a great movie, and the graphic novel is fantastic, and I would say probably would be the best one ever written. It's not something I want to keep, because it's like it's almost like having a dark object in your possession. But I think the relevance of the Jack the Ripper stuff, of unsolved crimes, particularly when it's the elite who are perpetrating them, and how the elite can get away with the most heinous crimes without any repercussions. Think of the Hunter Biden laptops. Think of the Epstein client list. Is it going to be released or not? We're watching that one closely. Think of the Biden pardoning his whole entire family before leaving office, and backdating that to 14 years, or 2014, can't remember which, no, 2014, which is when all the Burisma scandal, money laundering was happening in Ukraine, and him pardoning Anthony Fauci. Why does he need to pardon the guy who saved everybody, supposedly, in COVID? Why has he got to pardon him then? And, yeah, so that's how, for me, the Jack the Ripper stuff, the kind of Masonic Illuminati stuff, resonates. So yeah, fascinating. So if you want one, go down to the Ansty Books farm and grab yourself a good second-hand deal. I did, unfortunately, it would be in mint condition, but I spilt some green tea on the side of the book. So anyway, it's a lovely day for a little ride. I'm just literally nipping out between work meetings for a bit of fresh air, and it's not too far for me. Roads are fairly dry, and also this bookshop is amazing because people just aren't reading right anymore. Now, reading a comic is maybe not the purest form of reading. It's not like reading a Shakespeare play, but nevertheless, I'm actually going to try and sell them back a book that I bought from them, which was a biography on the composer Franz Schubert. It's a good read. It's in terrible condition, worse condition than it was when I actually bought them, because with some of these second-hand books, as soon as you start reading them, the pages, the glue that's supposed to hold the pages into the book cover is just so like 50-60 years old. It just, so all the pages like drop out. So I'd be surprised if I even get 50p for that, if anything. But I'm happy to give it to them. The From Hell comic will cost you 30 quid new if you buy it. So I should get a couple of squid for that, hopefully. But more than anything, it's just an excuse to go to my beloved book farm. And yeah, it's just great that people are, so there's still people around that are reading in this day of you know, social media and drivel. Although it has to be said, the age demographic of the people that frequent this book farm are, yeah, wrinkles and grey hairs, a demographic which I'm fast approaching myself. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm of the generation when people used to read books. I used to love it when I was a kid, going down to the library. That's how I discovered Tintin. I read all the famous 5 books and then I got hooked on Tintin. Actually, I'm going to do the North Coast 500 this year. I've got my heart set on it now. I'm going to do it on my own without any family shackling me down. And I've got it, I'm starting to plan it all out, so watch this space for that one. I'm going to definitely video it. But yeah, Tintin and the Black Isle, and I saw when I was looking at YouTube on the North Coast 500, actually Baron von Grumble's, him and his mate doing it. They passed the Black Island. It was either his YouTube or another one. And so yeah, was that the inspiration for the Tintin comic? But what I was trying to say is, as a little kid, that used to be such a special time for me when I'd finished my books and I was taking them back to the library to exchange them. My mum would take me across the road to exchange them for some new books, which I'd get stamped, and I'd have 2 weeks to read them, and I'd read them during the daylight, and then I'd have my torch to read them at night in my bed. Those were the days, and it's sad that those days have kind of disappeared. So there we are, there's the book farm, we're approaching it. So yeah, anything that's to keep book reading alive is great and deserves to be supported by your favourite biker. There's only about 10 subscribers at the moment. So let's go check this out. See if we can sell a book. I would stop for a coffee today, but I have to get back. And I might not bother to show you the inside. See my previous videos for a little glimpse of the inside of this fantastic little place. No stupid people.